We're continuing in 1 Peter, looking at verses 13 through 16 this morning. 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 13 through 16. Therefore, with your minds ready for action, be sober-minded and set your hope completely on the grace to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. As obedient children, do not conform to the desires of your former ignorance, but as the one who called you is holy, you also are to be holy in all your conduct. For it is written, be holy, because I am holy. Now, we talked a couple weeks ago in the Bible class about being called, about being set apart. This word holy can mean something very similar to that. It can mean you've been separated. It can mean you've been set apart. Beyond that, it does have this idea that you're pure, that there's no fault in you. And God does make us holy. There's kind of three ways we can look at this. The first one is that we're put in the position of being holy when we're baptized. And then from there we are progressively purified, progressively made holy as we continue to become more like Christ. We continue to grow in our holiness. And then when Christ comes again, He will perfect our holiness. We're told in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14, that without holiness, no one will ever be able to see God. So if you're not holy, you have no hope of seeing God. So I want to break down this passage a little bit. And our focus is, of course, on the idea of being holy. So first thing we're told, with your minds ready for action, be sober. And I do think those two things really go together. The idea of being sober, of sometimes you'll see it as be self-controlled. That's something you have to do with your mind. You have to make a concerted effort to keep yourself sober, to keep your mind ready for action, to be in that position where you're self-controlled. Now, Peter likes this word. Not only does he use it here in 13, but he'll use it in 4:7. He'll use it in 5:3 of this book as well. This idea of being sober. And it means, basically it does mean don't be drunk, but it goes beyond that. It means you're in a position where you can make good judgments. You can see things with a clear mind. You're not making judgments that are distorted. You're not clouded by whatever it is. It doesn't mean that necessarily have to be alcohol in this case, but that can cloud your capacities. It can be emotions. Anger can also cloud your judgment. Depression clouds your judgment. Sadness can cloud your judgment. When you feel like you're all alone, that can cloud your judgment. So we need to work to have a clear mind, to be in control of ourselves, so that when we need to make a judgment that is a matter of right and wrong, we can make the right decision. And when we make the right decisions, we're progressing towards becoming holy. Next, we're told to set our hopes. And here we're told to set them on the grace that's going to be revealed to us in Christ. I want you to turn with me over to Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 through 4. Now, we're looking at Peter, but Paul's got two verses that really parallel what Peter's saying here in 13 through 16. And one of those is here is Colossians 3, 1 through 4. So if you have been raised with the Messiah, seek what is above, where the Messiah is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on what is above, not on what is on the earth. For you have died, and your life is hidden with the Messiah in God. When the Messiah, who is your life, is revealed, then you also will be revealed with him in glory. So we're to set our minds, according to Paul here, on the things above. What's important here is that Christ is up above. So we're setting our mind on Christ, on Christly things, on godly things. Things, as we would see a little bit later here in chapter 3, like compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience, forgiveness, accepting one another. Those are the kind of things we're to set our minds on. Those kind of things that there are no law against. Because those are the godly things. Those are the things that are pure. There is no right or wrong decision on them in that regard. If I'm this, there's no chance of being wrong. If I'm gentle, if I'm compassionate, if I'm humble, I know I'm working toward the right thing. If you set your mind towards those goals, you set your mind towards the two great commandments. Love your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. You're working towards being holy, towards being just like God, because God is love. If we become love, that's really what it means in a large sense to be holy, to be a person who is filled with love. So we set our hope on the things above. We set our hope on the grace that God gives us. One definition I found of grace is the gift of salvation, which comes from the revelation of Christ. Now, we've received grace to some extent. But the point even being made here is we haven't received it in full yet. We will not receive it in full until Christ comes again, where he is revealed physically to us. And then we will receive the final part of grace. There's the idea, you ain't seen nothing yet. That's the truth of grace. You've seen a portion of it. You've seen about this much of it. It's not until we see God that we're going to understand the full import of God's grace. Where what we've seen is a drop in the bucket compared to what God has to give. They will receive, along with Christ, glorification. Which is what Paul said in Colossians there. They will be glorified along with Christ. And that goes back to the fact that we are in Christ. We are the body of Christ. So when Christ is glorified, we're automatically glorified as part of him. And that's how we receive our glorification, is because it is the glory of Christ. We receive a portion of that. Next, he tells us, be obedient children, not conforming to the ways of the world around us, holding firm to the teachings of our Father, doing as he commands. Where have you heard that before? Do not conform to this world. Romans 12. And this is the other one I think really matches this whole section here. Romans 12, verses 1 through 3. To get to Romans, not Corinthians. I don't want to go there yet. Therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, I urge you to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this age, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may discern what is good, pleasing, and the perfect will of God. And again, he talks here about the renewing of your mind, having it set, focused on what is good and pleasing to God, setting your hopes on what is good and pleasing to God. That we're to live and become holy so that we are pleasing to God. And part of doing that is not being like the rest of the world. The more we're like the rest of the world, the less we're like God. The more we're like God, the less we're going to be like the rest of the world. So we do not conform to the world because that separates us from God. That puts us further and further from God. Instead, we renew our mind. We focus on those things above. We try to take on those traits, those attributes, so that we become more and more like God. And if we're becoming more and more like God, and God is holy, we're becoming more and more holy. So you can see how all these things are working together. And therefore, we're going to, by focusing on the things above, by trying not to be like the world, we're going to go closer to God. That's the only way we have of gaining holiness. It's by learning to be like God. As Paul tells us, imitate Christ as Christ, and in other places, imitate me as I imitate Christ. Christ is always our goal, to be like Him. The more we're like Him, the more we're like God, the holier we are. You know, going back to that idea a couple weeks ago with refining fire, the more we look like God. And we know God is holy. God is also love. So we do have to, I think, look at what does it mean then to be loved. Because I think being holy and being loved also go hand in hand. So if I want to be like Christ, I need to learn to love because God is love. So 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We're going to look at verses 1 through 7. If I speak human or angelic languages, but I don't have love, I am a sounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy, and I can understand all the mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so that I can move mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. If I donate all my goods to feed the poor, and if I give my body in order to boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It is not boastful. It is not conceited. It does not act improperly. It is not selfish. It is not provoked. It does not keep a record of wrongs. Love finds no joy in unrighteousness. Instead, it rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. So if we're going to be holy, we need to work at being patient and kind. We need to work at not envying and not being boastful and not being conceited, at not acting selfishly, at not being easily provoked. We need to find no joy in unrighteousness, but rejoice in the truth. We need to have hope. And of course we know there is a hope. We've been told to set our hope on God. To set our hope on His salvation. Which is what Peter's been talking about, this first part of 1 Peter, the first chapter here is salvation. We're to set our hope that we will be saved. Set our hope in a God who promises to care for us, who promises to help transform us into that holy being He's calling us to be. It endures hardship and pain and suffering. It bears them. It's willing to help others bear their suffering and pain. Love is our goal. That's why it is our two commandments. It's why that is the summation of the Old Testament law. Because God is love, and God wants us to become love. And if we become that love, we will be that holy being God wants us to be when He comes again. So we need to set our minds, focus on these traits here in 1 Corinthians. It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy to pick up all these traits. I can still be very impatient. We found that out the other day. I can still be very impatient sometimes. I don't always forgive wrongs. That forgiveness is one of the hardest things that's probably on this list. Maybe not for some people, but for others it probably is. How many of us sometimes find joy in unrighteousness, in doing something we shouldn't be doing? Some of these things are hard to do. It's not always easy to be kind, especially when that person is being rude to you. It can be hard to be patient and kind with them. But that's love. That's our goal. That's what we need to aim for. That's what we need to focus on trying to be. And if we don't do it sometimes, that's actually okay. Remember, this is a progressive thing. We're going to get better at it. We don't have to be perfect. We won't be perfect until Christ comes back. He finishes that process on us at that time, when we are transformed into our new bodies. Those new bodies will be what's perfect. No matter how hard we work at it, these bodies will always be imperfect. But in the end, our goal is to be holy in all our conduct. Because God tells us He's holy, and that because He's holy, we are to be holy. If you feel filthy before God, that may sound strange, but that's the opposite of being holy. If you're filthy before God, if you're a sinful person, and you need to change, you can come. Christ will wash away those sins. He'll put you in that positional holiness, where you're now set to start growing in holiness. He'll wash away all those sins, so that you have a clean slate that you can become holy. If you're still working on your holiness and you're struggling with one of those categories, if you need our help, if you just need someone to talk to, you can come now, or you can talk to someone privately and say, I'm struggling with holiness in this area, maybe with a specific situation, and you need help. How do I deal with this? You've got brothers and sisters who do love you and will help you with those situations. If we can help you in any way, we ask that you come now as we stand and sing.